The Kirtan of Lord Hari, as inaugurated by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is the real wealth of the lost living souls in this material world. Or, in the words of Srila Guru Maharaj, the lost servants. Mahaprabhu Chaitanya Dev madly engaged in his loving search for the lost servants. We are those lost servants. Not only just us, but everyone, actually. They are lost servants of the Lord. And somehow or another we have come into connection with that conception. And we are asking the Lord to please find us. Please wake us up, and please make us fit for your devotional service. And the way to reach the Lord, the way that our prayer will reach the Lord, is through Harinam Sankirttan. You see, the Lord is not like a computer. It's not that everyone that prays to Him, He has to accept that, like a computer accepting emails. He has a filter. And the filter is this very simple thing. Sharanagati is the filter. Unless one is surrendered, Sharanagati means surrender. Unless one is surrendered to the Lord, then he does not listen to the prayers of those that are not surrendered to Him. We can ask God for everything, but He already knows what we need. We can sing all kinds of songs for Him. Give me health and wealth and a cottage by the sea, Om Jai Jagadisha Hari. But why will He listen to that? So many people are asking for that. But why He will listen to that? Only He will listen to the prayers of those souls who are surrendered to His lotus feet. We should be eager to try and join the Sankirtan party of those who are advanced in Krishna consciousness, or at least following Krishna consciousness properly. Not be so eager for ourselves to be the leader of that Sankirtan party if there are those who are more advanced than ourselves. That will be better if we will join in their Sankirtan rather than then have them join in our Sankirtan, so to say. Anyway, more or less we can say we are all children, and we are trying to follow, almost like imitating. We are singing some song, we don't even know what it means, but we are, like the children coming, clapping and joining in. But that's okay, because Krishna is our Father, and when He sees that, He's so happy to see that, actually. So happy to see that His children are trying to do something that pleases Him. We know that Nama Sankirtan is the most pleasing thing to Krishna. We are not dissimilar to Krishna, actually. In many ways we are very similar to Krishna. When we hear somebody saying something about us, our ears become alerted, isn't it? Oh, I heard my name, and we want to go and hear that. What they're saying about me. And especially if they're saying something good about me, then really I want to hear that. I like to hear that, isn't it? So Krishna is like that also. He likes to hear people speaking about Him. He likes to hear his own glories. And where the Sankirtan of Lord Krishna is being performed, Krishna Himself comes there to hear that. It is the fact, not only Krishna but all the Mahajans. One time Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, he was giving a lecture in one hall, public hall. I don't know where it was, but I forget now. But some public hall, they'd arranged everything, made some meeting, and Prabhupada came to give the lecture there, and nobody came, just the few devotees who he was with. But nevertheless, he gave that lecture, full lecture, he gave his full everything. And then one of the devotees asked, "Oh, Guru Maharaj, were you not disappointed and no one come to that lecture?" He said, "What do you mean no one came to the lecture? You didn't see Narad was there? You didn't see that Lord Shiva was there? You didn't see Shukadev was there? Lord Brahma was there? I saw all of them, we were there." So, we may not have the vision to see who is attending the Sankirtan. But the Sankirtan, if it is genuine Sankirtan, if it is following in the line of service, and with the proper conception and the proper attitude, then Krishna and all of his associates will be attracted to hear that Sankirtan. Not only attracted to hear that Sankirtan, they want to take part in that Sankirtan. When we read, when Narottam Das Thakur used to lead the Sankirtan at Keturi Gram, Narottam was a little after Mahaprabhu. After Mahaprabhu and all of his associates, they had already left the world. But when Narottam Das Thakur would lead the Sankirtan, whoever saw that Sankirtan, they would say, "I saw Mahaprabhu Chaitanya Dev dancing in that Sankirtan. I saw Nityananda Prabhu dancing in that Sankirtan. I saw Advaita Prabhu, Gadadhar Prabhu, Srivas Thakur. I saw all of them. Haridas Thakur, I saw them in that Sankirtan." Not only one or two, but so many. They swore to that. This is the nature. Of course, we are not Narottam Das Thakur. But he has left such a wealth, so many wonderful songs and so many, such wonderful conception you'll find in those songs. If you try to enter into the spirit of those songs. And even if you do not understand the language of those songs, even if you've not read the translation of those songs, if with your full heart you try to join in the Sankirtan of those songs, then those conceptions that flowed from the pen of Narottam Das Thakur, that flowed from the pen of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and the other great Vaishnavas whose kirtan we sing, that conception will awaken in you. It will come in your heart. It's not a matter of understanding necessarily, that may only be a mundane thing. I was having a very nice conversation with Virachandra Prabhu about this point in Gita. Krishna is talking about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Other yogas also, many different yogas he is speaking, but these mainly. And Virachandra Prabhu is asking me, where are the examples of this, and what is the difference between the Karma Yoga, the Jnana Yoga, and the Bhakti Yoga? They look like the same thing to me. But this is, of course, through the eye of a devotee, they do not see any difference between Karma, Jnana, and Bhakti. They are all the same thing. For the who has the eye of devotion, Karma, Jnana, and Bhakti, because they are all connected with Bhakti, then they are all Bhakti actually. Karma means action, your activities. So, if you will dedicate your activities to the service of Krishna, then that is called Karma Yoga. That is connecting to the Supreme through your actions. And if you pursue knowledge for the satisfaction of Krishna, for understanding about Krishna, then that is called Jnana Yoga. So, but Bhakti Yoga, that's a little more difficult to define actually, because that can also be your actions, or that can also be your knowledge dedicated in the service of the Lord. But the difference between all of them is bhakti. Bhakti is the difference. what the difference between karma yoga and bhakti yoga is bhakti. That's all. You may do your duty and offer the fruits of that to Krishna. But if that is only out of a sense of duty, then that is karma yoga. If that is through a spontaneous attraction and the development of love and devotion for Krishna, then that same activity is bhakti yoga. And also your knowledge, if your knowledge is aimed at abstract Brahman, or your knowledge is aimed at just being a scholar for the sake of being a scholar, but you are offering that in the service of Krishna, then that will be Jnana yoga. That also actually may be karma, not even karma yoga, but just karma mishra bhakti. But when the goal of that is fueled by your love and devotion to Krishna, then that is bhakti yoga. And even before you get real bhakti, if that is your aim, then that is bhakti yoga. Karma yoga, jnana yoga, raja yoga, all of the different yogas that Krishna speaks about in the Gita. If the aim is bhakti, then they are all bhakti. They can all be bhakti. But devoid of bhakti, they are all separate and actually useless without bhakti. That's the main thrust of Bhagavad Gita is karma yoga. Speaking of, Krishna is trying to convince Arjuna, do thou fight for the sake of fighting, Arjuna. This is your duty as a Kshatriya. And this is the main thrust of Krishna's argument or philosophy all the way through the Gita. But finally, in the 18th chapter, what does Krishna say? Your duty, what I've told you everything about your duty, now abandon that and surrender to me. So this is the difference. If you surrender to me, then whatever you do will be bhakti, by the act of your surrender. And don't think that by giving up your prescribed duties according to your varna and your ashram, if that is for love of me, then no sin will come upon you. Previously, Krishna has told, if you don't do your duty, not only that, if I don't do my duty, then everyone will follow in my footsteps. Whatever a great man does, lesser man will follow that. So if I don't do my duty, then the whole world will go to hell. But know that there is no duty for me. In all of the worlds there is no duty for me. But still I do something so that people will know that to give up your duty, that is karma and akarma and bikarma. Akarma means renunciation, and bikarma means bad work. Karma means the standard work, your dutiful work, and bikarma means against that, sinful work. So then if you give up your duty, to do nothing or to do sin, both will cause havoc in the society. But after telling that, then Krishna says, but if you give up your duty in this world for my sake, then no sin can come to you. Not only that, you will come to me in Vrindavan. Sharanam Braja. Braja means Vrindavan. You will come to me in Vrindavan, to live with me in Vrindavan. Man mana baba mad bhakto, madhyaji mam namaskaro, mami vaishyasi satjante, pratijani priyoshime. Surrender to me, worship me, do everything as an offering to me. Think of me. Surrender to me, and surely you will come to me. This is my promise to you, Arjun. You can believe me. Not only once, that verse is twice you'll find that verse in Gita. And Guru Maharaj says, so shamelessly Krishna is canvassing for himself. There's nowhere else you will find that in any scripture where he is telling, I am the supreme, surrender to me, come to me, do everything for me. Shamelessly he is telling that. But what is the caveat that goes along with that is that by doing that, Arjun, you will be the gainer. You will gain everything. Infinitely you will gain if you do that. You won't lose anything. We may think that. Sometimes we think that. If I surrender to Krishna, then what will happen in this world? How will I maintain myself in this world? How will I do this? How will I do that? But if the surrender is real, then you have nothing to worry about. Krishna will take care of you. Srila Govinda Maharaj always used to say, if I merge my account with his account, then I've got nothing to worry about anymore. If you are a poor man and your bank account is always in the red, but if you get the capacity, the ability to merge your account with a very wealthy man's account, then it doesn't matter that your account was in the red. Suddenly you're okay now. Prabhupada used to give that example, the example that a very poor girl, if she marries a prince, then it doesn't matter that she was a poor girl anymore. Now she's a princess. Then everything is solved. So if we merge our account with Krishna's account, that means if I make my interest one with Krishna's interest, not the other way round, that I want to make Krishna's interest one with my interest. That means Krishna give me this, Krishna give me that, Krishna please arrange this for me, Krishna do this for me, Krishna do that for me. No. As President Kennedy said, don't ask what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. So don't ask what Krishna can do for you. Ask, what can I do for Krishna? This is a very simple thing. This is the difference. When we are asking that question, what can I do for Krishna? Then karma becomes bhakti. Because our interest is Krishna's interest. Now we realize that I am not here to satisfy my own self, for my own enjoyment, my own elevation, my own upliftment, my own satisfaction, but I am here for his satisfaction. And actually, if we are intelligent, then we will understand my satisfaction comes with his satisfaction. As the song says, I want to be happy, but I can't be happy till I make you happy too. So that's the truth, actually. If we can make Krishna happy somehow, then really we will be happy. And of course someone may say, well, how are you going to make Krishna happy? What are we going to do? What have we got to offer that Krishna doesn't already have in heaps? And it's true, there's nothing we can offer to Krishna that he doesn't have already. You may be a really good cook, but who's Krishna's cook? Mother Yashoda is Krishna's cook. Srimati Radharani is Krishna's cook. When Radharani was a small girl, she did some service to Durvasa Muni, and Durvasa Muni gave a benediction to her. Whatever this girl cooks will taste of ecstasy. Then when Mother Yashoda heard that, she thought, must get her to cook something every day for Krishna. That kind of food I want him to eat. So these are Krishna's cooks. So we may think I'm a very good cook and I can do all these things that no one else can do in the kitchen. But what's that compared to what they can cook? Nothing. Or we may have some very nice flowers to offer to Krishna, but what are they? Just Kali Yuga flower with no scent. Even if you find some flowers with a scent, that is not very much. It is a surprise. You walk down the road and you smell some. Wow! Isn't it? Everyone's surprised. Wow, those roses, they smell so strong and so sweet. Everyone's shocked by that because we don't expect that. We expect them to be dead, like a dead smell, nothing smell. This is Kali Yuga. Everything is rubbish. And so therefore we've only got rubbish to offer to Krishna. But Guru Maharaj said, actually, if you're a miser, then you can practice your hand to give. give something that's worthless. If you're a miser and you don't like to give anything, just give some paper or give something. But practice the hand to give so that it becomes your habit to give. Then when you have no paper, you will have to give something, then you will have to give something valuable. And ultimately, you will have to give yourself. So, we may say we don't have anything really to offer to Krishna, but we have the most valuable thing, that is ourself. Everybody is looking out for themselves, aren't they? In this material world, we're the number one priority. Whatever else we may say, we're the number one priority. Our number one priority is me. And when the chips are down, I'm going to look out for me. And sometimes you'll see someone will do something selfless. The soldier who throws himself on top of the grenade to save his comrades or something like that. But that's exceptional, extraordinary, out of the ordinary. The ordinary thing is, you get the hell out of there, and if anyone's in your way, you'll climb over top of them to get out of there, isn't it? That's unfortunate but true. So we've made that priority, that I'm the number one priority, and I'm the center of my universe. So if I think myself to be very valuable to myself, then what more valuable thing could I offer to Krishna than myself? And that offering has to be real. And what is the result of that? What did Ramchandra say to his devotees when Vibhishana, that is Ravan's brother, he came and wants to take shelter of Lord Ram? And Hanuman and Lakshman and Jambavan, all of Ram's associates, they're saying, he's probably a spy, He's Ravan's brother, you mustn't trust him. Don't allow him to come into your shelter. And Ram's reply was, no. Whoever sincerely says just once, my Lord, I am yours, then I give that person my protection for all time to come. This is my promise. And Ramchandra, he is Marjada Purushottama. He never told a lie. Krishna is sometimes telling lies. But Ramchandra never told any lie, ever. So if he will say that, then in his word, who will believe if not Ram? Now this is the situation. If I can try to give myself to my Lord, surrender myself to the Lord, if I try, the Guru Maharaj's expression was, you die to live. Die to live. That means who you are, what you think you are now, what your conception of yourself is now, that has to die. So that the real you, the spiritual you, the devotional you can live, can come out. Doesn't mean physical death. It means a different kind of death. Die to live. Who we are now, that rotten, mean, filthy person. Actually, I'm speaking about myself. But Guru Maharaj said that if once you will meet your own self, who you really are, you'll be ashamed. You'll be ashamed to think that mean, wretched, selfish person that I thought was me, I'm ashamed that I thought that. That's if you even meet your own self, your real self, just once. What to speak is if you meet Krishna. If you only meet your real self, that's what it means. Self-realization means to meet yourself. It means to know yourself, to meet the Atma. And after meeting Atma, to meet the Paramatma. First of all, you must know yourself, who you are. And that will come, first of all, that will be a theoretical understanding. This is who I am Krishna Das. Jivara Shurupohoi Krishnera Nitya Das. Krishnera tatasta shakti beda bed prakash. This is Sanatana Goswami. Question to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu's reply. You are the jiva, the soul, the atma, jivatma. And what is that? Jivara sharupahoy. That means the form of the jiva is Krishnara Nityadas, the eternal servant of Krishna. Krishnara tatasta shakti beda bed prakash. Tatasta shakti means you have come from the marginal energy of the Lord. Where the spiritual world and the material world meet, that place is called tatashta or tata. That means like where the sea meets the shore of the beach. It is not land, it is not sea, it is where the two meet. The margin, it is called tata or tatashta. That is where the jiva is born from. And Guru Maharaj give the example of Bangladesh and West Bengal. Bangladesh used to be East Bengal. And then after the partition, it became Bangladesh. And many people moved from one to the other. But some people, they live right on the border. So for those people, they have dual citizenship or a dual passport. They can go to Bangladesh or they can go to West Bengal. They can go both sides. So the jiva is like that. We are born in that marginal position. We can go to the spiritual world or we can go to the material world. And we have, due to some misuse of our free will, we have come to this material world. But we are that tatasta shakti. Beda bed prakash. That means, but you are also simultaneously one and different from the Lord. That is who you are. So that's the theory. We understand the theory. That's who we are in theory. But how to understand that by realization, by fact, by our knowing who we are. That means when you are hungry, you know you're hungry. And when you've eaten something and you feel satisfied, you know that. You don't need anybody to tell you that. You know that yourself. It is natural. So when you come to that stage of actually knowing yourself for real, you don't need anybody to tell you. This is the theory. The theory is when you're have taken some food, you'll feel satisfaction, your hunger will have gone, you'll feel nourishment, like this. That's the theory. But when you actually eat something and that happens, the theory doesn't mean anything anymore. You know, now I'm satisfied. So similarly, to go from the theory to the realization, that means we have to awaken ourselves. And awaken ourselves how? By offering ourselves in the service of our Lord. By learning how to surrender to the Lord. It may not be something that we can do immediately. Or it may be, today with my full sincerity, I surrender to the Lord, but tomorrow all my bad habits and old affiliations, they all come to claim me again. Then what will I do? This is the nature of our predicament. You know, when Jagai and Madai were converted by Mahaprabhu, they were the most terrible debauchees, murderers, rapists, thieves, drunkards. Everything you can conceive of, they did it. And probably some things we cannot conceive of, also they did that too. But once they were converted, they never ever went back to their old life again. Ever. Never even crossed their mind. But we are worse than they are. Mahaprabhu has come to extend his hand to us, to save us, give the same mercy to us as he gave to them. And we are telling, today I'm accepting, tomorrow, nah, I want the things that I went after before, I want those back again. That is called chewing the chewed, or to be more gross. When you vomit, then to again eat your vomit. That's actually what it means. And think we will get some enjoyment from that again. But what can we do? One step at a time. But we are children. And when the child is learning to walk, so many times he must fall down. Then in the same way, we are offering ourselves to Krishna, and then the next minute we are falling down and becoming offender to Krishna. But then what to do? The child, will the mother say, yes, now you just lie there, not you're rubbish at walking, you just stay there forever now. No. Mother will say, come on, try again. This time you'll do it. And baby will try and maybe fall again. That's okay, come on, try again. This is Krishna. He's infinitely merciful. Try again. Yes, I'm trying, and oh no, I blew it, fell again. Never mind, try again. And Krishna, just like the loving mother, he has infinite patience for us. He didn't create us to be down in the mud. He created us to be up, with our arms raised, chanting Gaur Nityananda's names. That's why he created us, to live a life of love in service to him, not for anything else. He didn't create us to suffer in this material world. If there is any purpose for that, that is to teach us that this is not our home, that this is not where we are meant to be. But still, try again. Try again. Don't worry. Try again. That's why we're here. We are not perfect. But you won't criticize the patients in the hospital because they're getting some treatment for their disease. So this temple, this society of devotees, this association of Vaishnavas is like the hospital, and we've all come here to the doctor, our Gurudev, please, I'm a very sick person, you'd please make me well again. And he will give us some medicine and give us some diet and give us some rules of don't do this, do that. And this way, if we follow that sincerely, we will become well. And suddenly we will find that we have been restored to real health and find ourselves living in another environment. Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Sunda Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Rakha Shrida Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Vaishnava Brinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Sham Sunda Giridhari Jiyo Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Bol.